So you might be asking yourself, why does food feel like the only place I can get relief? And with a lot of emotional eaters, this is something that comes up. They haven't found something to replace their emotional eating. So today, let's dive in why it feels this way. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Michelle. I'm a certified holistic nutritionist specializing in emotional eating. So this isn't about you lacking willpower or you being broken. Food didn't become this random thing you went to soothe yourself. It was something that you went back to time and time again because it served a purpose. And it actually brought you the relief that you were looking for, or as close to the relief that you thought you were looking for. So I'm sure you notice that when you emotionally eat, you notice you can breathe better, that you start to feel calmer in your body, soothe, you take the edge off, you're not as agitated. It's like your body shifts gears from being overwhelmed and spinning out to finding some sense of calm or peace. So there's sort of like this exhale in the body, and that is because there's a physiological reaction. When we eat, our body produces dopamine. It tends to make us feel good. If we're eating lots of food, we're kind of getting that relief through this action we're taking through food that tells us things are okay, because that's what we've always done when we've felt out of control. So you might be wondering, why doesn't anything else work the same way for you? And it's because this pattern has been so deeply ingrained. You've been using it for so many years that it's the only thing that brings you close to that sense of comfort or feeling soothed. And because it's been there for this long, you haven't learned to actually meet that need. And so this is the closest thing you have to feeling that soothing and that comfort and like things are okay. So essentially, when you were younger, food became this way to help you calm your nervous system, to feel okay. And if you weren't getting this need met by your parents or caregivers, this is all you knew how to feel okay. And so this becomes a way of surviving and coping with the distress, unmet needs, discomfort of the world that anyone goes through. And food also becomes this reliable source of comfort. It's fast, it's accessible, it kind of gets the job done, and it changes the state of your body very quickly. And so the body learned over time, oh, this helps me feel okay. And our brain loves efficiency. It's going to repeat that pattern. It's going to make that pattern automatic and subconscious, so we don't have to think about it. So the moment distress or discomfort comes up, we automatically go to food. This is our way of soothing ourselves. And so your mind might be looking at this pattern, like, why am I still emotionally eating? Why do I keep going to food? I've gone to therapy. I've talked about it. I understand when I'm triggered, I go to this. I'm trying my affirmations. I'm trying to meet my deeper needs, but it's not shifting this pattern. While these tools are really useful for awareness, they're not getting into the deeper root of where this pattern was created. It's not shifting it at that level. And unless you're doing that and you have a practice around that, you're not going to move the needle with your emotional eating, because these experiences are not just in our mind. They are sensations. They are in our body. They are something we viscerally feel. And in order to meet that need, we have to get to a body level and start meeting the need at this level to shift the pattern, to actually shift physiologically what is meeting that need. And when our body tastes what is actually going to meet that need and tries to put food in there, it doesn't work, because what we need on an emotional level, and if we're able to meet that need, it starts shifting the pattern, because food is really just a band-aid. It gives us some of that when we don't know what the real thing feels like. But once we have the real resolution, we'll no longer want to go to food. So, when I work with women, I see my own journey repeated again and again. I see them trying the things I tried, the personal trainers, trying the different diets, trying to do affirmations, going to therapy, switching out your thoughts. all of this seems like when you don't know what to do, you're going to do any and everything. And I remember, those things weren't to directly address my emotional eating. I did talk about it, but no one seemed to give me the answer. And when I started to really dive deeper and I found this resource that helped me to understand I was an emotional eater, it was still very much trying to tackle it from a mind level by going through journaling prompts and all of these things. And I felt just so out of control, and something inside of me knew there was a deeper layer that I had to get to. And I had been experimenting with meditation and just allowing my body to feel. And I didn't have, I just sort of knew there was something more that needed to happen. And as I started to practice this thing I was creating with meditation and my triggers and getting into my body, I started to see how this was really very emotional, and I needed to meet those needs at that deeper level. And it wasn't until I was able to do that I saw my emotional eating shift. It didn't shift overnight, but I could feel a shift each time a trigger came up and I was able to do this process. And when I'm working with clients, I see this shift happen quicker and quicker because I'm there holding the container. I understand the process. I can guide them to their root. And we start putting those pieces together. We start meeting those needs at a body level. We start resolving it. We start processing through it, and it starts shifting the pattern because we're actually meeting your true needs versus, food, the band-aid, or trying to think about it or talk about it. And yes, of course, you're going to gain awareness about your patterns, but it's going to be like a click, like, oh my God, that's what's been running the show. And I feel it in my body. I feel the shift in my body, and you see it in your behavior. It's very interesting in the body. And so what the body is actually asking for is not food. It's asking for safety. It's asking for presence. It's asking for emotional needs to be met. It's asking to be validated in its experience. And once we're able to meet those deeper needs, and they're going to be nuanced for each person, once we're able to meet those needs and sort of resolve what was creating this pattern that we tried to plug in food to help us feel okay, it starts resolving it, and you no longer crave food because you actually learn that it's not about the food. So food became this sort of substitute and the stand-in because you didn't have, and what you needed wasn't actually available from your environment, from your parents or caregivers. And now we can go back and start giving yourself what you needed, repatterning that, reparenting yourself at this deep core level. So this isn't about forcing you to feel your emotions or making you go through an event. It's really about where your body's at, what it's ready to move through, what it's ready to resolve. So you're not broken. It's just that a lot of things that you've tried, they're not getting into the root of your emotional eating. They're usually asking you to manage your symptoms, but you can actually resolve the root because food was not meant to be a band-aid to fill your emotional needs. You can actually start meeting those. And so if you want to get started on this journey, the first step I give to my clients is to start to learn to discern true from emotional hunger, how that feels in your body, and start catching your triggers. And if you would like a free resource, you can download my free guide called What Are You Truly Hungry For? And if you're looking for in-depth support, I'd love to invite you to find out more about the Emotional Eating Evolution Program. This is my 12-week container. It has a step-by-step process, one-to-one sessions with me, the in-depth tools, guidance, support to help you get to ease and peace and confidence around food and in your body in a sustainable way. So if you'd like to find out more about the program, you can find out more at the links below. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about what I've shared, please let me know. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I look forward to sharing more with you, and I hope you have a great day.